Hey everyone, Tech OG here, representing those who are 40 and up who love their tech. And this video is going to be a quick but comprehensive review of the Unihertz Atom smartphone. For those of you who've seen a couple of my videos already, you know that I've crowdfunded for the Unihertz Atom, but canceled my pledge on Kickstarter when it was introduced because I thought that I wouldn't use it or wouldn't need it. But I'll say about a week ago, I decided that I wanted to at least get it, try it out, and see if I can use it as my daily driver. And got very lucky and found one on eBay that I purchased and received the phone 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I had a few days to mess with it, use it, see how it works and everything. I did say in my unboxing video that I was gonna come back in about a week, but I think through the holiday, through using it during the holiday, that I've had a pretty enough time to use the phone to give you a pretty concise review on the phone. So what I'm going to be doing is reading from a list of pros and cons that I've procured for myself, that I've typed up, so that I won't get off track, so that I can just give you the best and most comprehensive, again, review on the Unihertz Atom and how I've used it on my day-to-day, or as my daily driver. So again, these this list or these opinions are my opinions of the phone, because this is how I've used it. So you may or may not use it the same way that I use it. And so if you're interested in getting this phone and you use it in ways that I use it, then you can take the opinions that I have and use that to make a decision on if you want to purchase it for yourself. Because you don't want to purchase something, especially if it costs a good amount of money, and then you're not happy with your purchase. So that's how these review videos are supposed to be on YouTube or anywhere. They're supposed to let you know exactly how it is from your opinion, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, to really help a consumer. Because there's a lot of reviews, a lot of video reviews that I see and read that do not tell you half of the things of the device. Now, there's no video that's going to tell you exactly everything, just like there's no video that's going to show you exactly all the updates of an operating system when an update comes out. So, like I said, I'm going to give you, like I said, just the best opinions that I can come up with about the good and the bad of this phone from how I use it, and you just can take that and use that to help you make a decision on purchasing the phone for yourself. So without further ado, here is my view on the Unihertz Atom. Well, first and foremost, the one thing that I do like about the phone is that it is built very well. The build quality is a lot sturdier. What Unihertz, the company Unihertz, is doing to sell its phone is they're selling the rugged casing that's around the phone. As you can see, this is a whole lot thicker. I mean, even if this was bigger and longer, this is a whole lot thicker than your average phone. And it's because of the rugged build that they've made this phone to be. So when you drop it, you ain't got to worry about it breaking for the most part, because it's been built for rugged activity. So if you're one of those type of people that like to drop your phones, things like that, and of course you buy cases for your phone to, help absorb the shock, this phone does not need a case. Basically the outing of the phone is the case. It's very well made, very, very durable. The front is a Gorilla Glass, I believe it's Gorilla Glass 4, and the corners are definitely reinforced with very hard plastic. And even though it doesn't have any raised bezels, or it has a small raised bezel here and one here, but what's cool about the corners, they kind of concave to the front of the phone. So when it does drop face down, if you get one, you can actually feel the vibration around the phone. So it really doesn't vibrate the front, it vibrates around, so the impact, if you drop it on the front, will not really impede on the Gorilla Glass, so I don't think it'll break as easily as you would think. So they've really designed this very well as far as for when to drop the phone. So that's pretty good. Other things I like about the phone, it has NFC. So if you like to use payments with your phone, it does have NFC. So if you use Google Pay, it will work very well with this. I am not signed up to Google Pay. I'm signed up to Apple Pay when I have my iPhone, and I have Samsung Pay. So I have not used Google Pay, but if you do use Google Pay, just know that it will work on this device. Other things I like about the phone, the call quality is really good. I thought that it wouldn't be good because the grill to put your ear is pretty small, but the call quality, me hearing phone calls, very good, and people hearing me through the receiver grill, it's really good. So the call quality is pretty excellent. Reading on this bad boy is a joy. Before I show you any reading, there's a number of ways to turn this on. You can use the power button. There's a power button right here to turn it on. It'll still be locked, and it's locked, but you can unlock it with this thing right here. This is the fingerprint reader. So placing it just right will open up your device, and you'll hear that nice little tone that'll tell you that it's unlocked. And if you get to a page on a website, as you can see, looking at the font, the reading is great. And just in case you can't see the font, you can always pinch the zoom and make it bigger. And even when you make it bigger, there's no pixelation in the letters. So that shows you right there that the quality for reading is going to be very nice. So reading on here is excellent. And the zoom is definitely excellent. I like again that it doesn't have any pixels, so that really is nice. Another thing that I like on here, typing. So let's say you get to a web, or you get to a site that requires typing. Let's say you want to search for something and you want to search for the weather. You want to put in what's the weather. Now, if you try to type with your finger, you got to be pretty precise in trying to get the letter. And I'm going to just type in what's the weather. WHAT. Let's put S. Hopefully the apostrophe will pop up. THE. HE. WEATHER. But as you can see, I just try to type it like I would normally type on a regular size phone. But because the keyboard is so small, you're going to make mistakes. I don't care how careful you are, you're going to make mistakes. And let's say that you want to use another method. You can also use the microphone if you wanted to record something, and that's pretty good too. But the fastest way to do it, this is integrated with Google Keyboard, so if you swipe to type, that works very well. Hello, not hell, hello, H-E-L-O. There. So as far as swiping, it works excellent. So for those of you who thought that sending text or putting in text on here will be difficult as far as just typing, yes, it is. Swiping makes it a whole lot better. So that is pretty good. Another thing that's good on here that makes this phone really fun is playing emulated games. So I'm going to use just a small example of a game or an emulator. I'll use this one, EPSXE. Now you can just use the phone itself and use the integrated virtual gamepad on here, but because of the screen size, it'll be virtually impossible to actually get the concise controls and button mashes using the virtual keypad because of the screen size. So you can use a Bluetooth controller. And for me, personally, this is the best Android controller that you can get for your phone. This has 80-hour standby, has a nice 300 milliamp battery in here. So, and it's telescopic. So if you got a big phone, it can fit, small phone, it can fit. How about a thick phone? Let's see how this works with it. As you can see, it holds pretty okay. Now it's not going to hold great because again it's thicker than the average phone, so you want to be pretty careful when you use it. So let me turn it on. Make sure it pairs. Come on up here. All right, give me a second. Oh, there we go. We're paired. Let's make sure. Yeah, boy. So we're paired, and it says here, let's restore the game that I was playing to let you see how well it plays. Make sure I turn on the volume because I don't want to be dinged for copyright infringement. Anyway, when you play a game, you play it. Bang, bang, bang. So as you can see, it responds very, very well. Very well. So you pause it, and what I really like about this controller, when you do pair it to your phone and then use the emulators and stuff, the button configuration is pretty precise for the emulator. Now there may be a few emulators where you have to configure the buttons for it, but for the most part, I'll say 80% of the emulators that I've used, the button configuration was spot on. Didn't have to configure anything to play with the emulator. But for this one, I had to configure the buttons, but it didn't take that long to do, and I was up and running within a few minutes. So like I said, it works good, works great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So as far as using it with emulators, like I said, it works great. I would suggest getting a controller like this, you know, telescopic, so that you can use it hands-free without holding your phone or putting the phone down, because this doesn't have a kickstand. So this right here works great. If you're interested in this controller, I'll leave a link for it in the description, and hopefully the company will sponsor me, because I'm talking about the controller and talking about how great it is. I love this controller. So as far as playing emulated games on here, that's great. And I have other emulators on here. Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, some other ones like that. So anyway, that's all good and dandy. One of the best things about the phone, and what sold me to buy it, is the portability, because it's so small, so dainty, so nice, and I'm not afraid of dropping it, as you can see. It easily fits in the pocket. It's not very heavy, so it's not going to weigh you down or anything. Has a nice little opening here if you want to use the included lanyard on the watch, so on the phone, so you can put the lanyard in and put it around your wrist so that you can drop it, but it just dangle from your wrist. So that's pretty cool. And oh yeah, streaming video is pretty awesome on here. So because I have a T-Mobile account, Netflix is included in my account, so you can pop that open and watch any of these wonderful videos that they have to offer. So here's Fairy Tale, an episode of Fairy Tale, to show you how it plays, doesn't stutter. And as you saw, it just came right on. And look at how cool it looks on this little screen. Even though the pixelation is like 230 by something. I don't look it up, the pixelation again. Let me see if I can find the pixelation. Nope, it's not on the box. But pixelation is not that great. It's not even 480p. But still, it looks fantastic. I think it's 480p. I gotta look it up. But even with that, you can change the resolution on some streaming apps that you have, such as YouTube. You can get this up to 720p on here, or you can make it even lower. But 720p is the best that you get, and this might be 720p, so who knows. So anyway, it looks great. It's fantastic, as you can see. So streaming on here works wonderfully. So those are the good things off the top of my head that I like about the phone. Let's get into the bad, because as you know, there's no such thing as a perfect phone. So you gotta have bad with every good. First thing, and there are some bad things that I'm going to talk about that are deal breakers. And a deal breaker for me is basically, if I can't use it the way that I want to use it, then it's no good to me. And I could deal with maybe 1 or 2 deal breakers, but I have 4, and there might be more, but I got 4 on my list. The first thing I didn't like about this that is a deal breaker is that some apps from the Google Play Store does not work on this device. Now, your results may vary, but my banking app, which I have to basically use all the time to see about my funds and make sure that there's no crazy activity going on, I like to check my funds on a daily basis, or as much as possible. And my particular banking app, Empower Federal Credit Union, for those of you who are in New York State, I'm in Syracuse, New York, so they're all over the place. So if you have Empower Federal Credit Union and you want to check your funds on this phone, you can't do it. It doesn't work. I tried downloading previous versions of it, try to figure out you can probably use it in a browser, but I would rather use the app. It's much quicker, easier to access, and you can use your fingerprint reader to open it up. But for whatever reason, the app does not work on this phone. That's deal breaker number one. Gotta check my funds, gotta have access to my funds. Another thing that I didn't like about this phone, the video and photo quality is not as good as I thought it would be. I did see one person's video review on this phone, and his videos and pictures came out quite nice, and I thought, of course, based on his video, that mine was going to be the same way. But I don't think that the person's video that I watched, I don't think his pictures and video were from this phone. I think they were from another phone. And I'm not going to tell you who the person was or anything, but that's just my personal opinion. I think that he got shots of stuff from another phone and put it in the video, and that's not cool. Me, I'm going to show you actual video and pictures right from the phone so that you can see it's from this phone. I did not transfer any pictures to this phone. These come straight from the phone, because I told you I used this during the holiday season. And these are pictures of my family, me holding the phone. And oh, here's one thing I don't like about the phone. If you're taking a picture of something or someone and that person moves and you don't catch it quick enough, this doesn't have a fast shutter. So, I mean, it is kind of fast. I mean, it does take pictures pretty fast, but if the person moves, it doesn't have the image stabilization. So you're going to get blurred. So you got to make sure that the people that you're taking a picture of, they're not moving too much. So it's not bad, but it's definitely not great, because when you do zoom in, you get pixelation, which is sad, and you get noise. You get some fuzz. The fuzz is the noise. So as far as picture quality, it's not as good as you think. It may be 16 megapixels, but they're not very good. Not at all. So I'm not very happy with these pictures at all. Not at all. Even pictures of my chicken that I got from Rochester, Country Sweet Chicken. If you don't know about this chicken sauce, Lord have mercy. Anyway, continuing on. Actually, let me show you a video. I know I took a video. A video of my niece dancing. So let's check out the video. No sound. Actually, I have to do a little bit of sound. No sound. There's music playing. My bad. So here she is trying to dance. Ain't she cute? That's my little niece. You zoom in, you see how it went. Looks like it was stuttering. So as far as zoom is not great. Noise is not great. Yeah, you see little blue pixels and stuff on people when you zoom in. So as far as zooming in, it's not very crisp and clear. I don't like that at all. I mean, like I said, the size of the phone is great. Portability is great, but video and picture quality is not that great. Subpar. Definitely subpar. So I'm not very happy at all with the picture and video quality of this phone. Another thing that I don't like, even though I showed you the gameplay on this Bluetooth controller, even though I showed you that it can run on it can run emulators and emulated games, and it can probably play Candy Crush and all that other stuff, no matter how good you try to boast about this phone, this screen is way too small for gaming. I don't care what you say, I don't care how you say it, I don't care how you pitch it, it's just too doggone small. Try to play Candy Crush and try to switch some candies with it on the screen. Excuse me. You will understand what I'm talking about if you do that. Now, can you still control it? Yes. Yes, you can. Can you still play games on here? Yeah, you can. But as far as the real estate and seeing everything, as far as texting the game, not very practical for gaming at all. So that's not a deal breaker, because I mean, I can still enjoy playing games on here, but just like typing, you just gotta be careful when you're swiping and when you're playing Candy Crush or whatnot. Another deal breaker, the fingerprint reader. Even though it's cool, it's not very accurate. So let's say you turn off the phone, you want to turn it back on. I got my right fingerprint scanned on here once. I scanned my left twice, because I've read that if you scan your finger a certain number of times, that it'll have better accuracy. But you can turn it on by putting your finger on it, as you saw right there. And it's hit or miss, because I've tried it other ways, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And so you may have to press pretty hard on there, as you just saw. Yep. So it does work. Like I said, it is hit or miss. It is hit or miss. As you can see, I'm pressing. You can see the white finger, left thumb. Much more accurate. Like I said, oh, look at that. Because like I said, you put your thumb in different positions, so sometimes, and if you got big old thumbs, then you probably cover the entire reader. So you gotta have it just right. You gotta have it just right, just for it to read. And so it's not that accurate, even though I have my thumb scanned twice. It's still not that accurate. That right there is a deal breaker, especially if I want to open up my phone and take a picture or something, or record a video or something. So that right there, deal breaker. The next thing, the battery life. Even though it's a 2,000 milliamp battery, it doesn't last that long. Not at all. Some people that reviewed the phone said it lasted a day and a half. What the heck were you doing? Just looking at email? Now, if you just use this on a practical sense, you know, playing games, surfing the web, looking at videos, things like that, it's not going to last that long. This lasts just as long as my Galaxy S9. So you get probably a good 6 hours. It's 5, 6, 7 hours out of this thing, tops. And right now I got it in battery saving mode, so you can probably get it in, you know, more battery life, but you're restricting the use of the phone. So I don't like to restrict things. I like to use it the way that I want to use it. So as far as using it, battery life, you get about a day out of here. Even though you should get more because of the size, but you got full color, you're using full capabilities on this phone. So therefore, plus it got Google Assistant on here. If you press and hold on the home screen, you'll get Google Assistant. So that means it's always running, which means it's always listening, which means it's going to deplete battery power. So this basically lasts as long as your average phone. So don't be pulled into the game of them saying that this lasts longer than your average phone. It doesn't. So that right there is not a deal breaker, because like I said, that's pretty much for any phone as far as battery life. As you can see, I'm always plugged up, my S9 plugged up, so that I can give me some battery power. Right now it's at 100%. But as soon as you take it off for 10 minutes, it'll get down to like 90%. Can't stand that. Another thing that is a deal breaker. Now, you usually get apps from the Google Play Store, but sometimes I like to get apps from my PC or download it to my PC and then sideload it onto my phone. And in order to do that, you got to go into settings. And then from settings, you got to go into system, about phone, and then you look for the build number. You press that a number of times to get to the developer options. We'll go back to developer options now. There's the back button. Developer options are here. And then I press the stay awake. I tick that so that it can stay awake when you're charging it. But the one thing, oh yeah, you got to tick this too. And sometimes this turns off. If you turn your phone off, turn it back on, sometimes this turns off. Even though you ticked it on, it turns off for whatever reason. I don't like that. On my S9, once you take this on, it stays on. Even if you turn off your phone, turn it back on, it stays on. This right here turns off for whatever reason. I don't like that. And another thing that switches on me is when I do plug this into my computer. Did I pass it? I think I passed it. Give me a second. When I plug this into my computer, you would, if you do it right, you will get the satisfying sound of this being connected. And when you do connect the phone to the computer, you want to make sure that it's in this mode right here. MTP. So you want to make sure you go to select USB configuration and select MTP, which stands for Media Transfer Protocol, which basically stands for you can transfer apps from your computer to your phone and then install it that way. Because as you sometimes know, some people can put in apps in the Google Play Store and they're going to have malware. So sometimes I like to check my apps to make sure that they're absolutely malware free. And so I download it from other sources that, you know, check the apps and make sure that they're pure, clean, and all that stuff. So that's why I siloed apps. So when you take it, it's supposed to stay on. But every time you plug this phone into the computer, this changes from MTP to charging. Charging just means it just charges from the computer battery. But I want it on MTP, but it keeps going into charging as soon as you plug it in. So you have to manually change it back to MTP just to sideload apps. And you have to do that every time you disconnect and then reconnect your phone. That right there is a deal breaker. I don't want to keep doing all that just to sideload an app. I just want to be able to plug it in, put the app on, take it off, and do what I got to do. But that right there, all those extra steps, deal breaker. I don't like those extra steps. I'm supposed to keep it simple. Another deal breaker, and this is the last deal breaker. Oh yeah, because I think I did mention that the fingerprint reader is a deal breaker. That is not very accurate, so I've already said some apps don't work. Fingerprint reader, side loading, and the last deal breaker, my fourth one, customer service. Because good luck with customer service. Because the company is in Japan, contacting somebody from customer service will vary. For me, for example, I sent someone from customer service a question, and they answered, and I got an answer back 3 days later. So that tells you just the question and the answer part is terrible. So what if you needed to send your phone in for repair? That's going to take even longer, because since the company's in Japan, you got to ship it all the way there, and then they'll fix it, and then they have to ship it all the way back. And so that's going to take some time. You can't just take this to Verizon, AT&T, because they don't have this phone, so therefore they won't service the phone. You can't just take it to anybody, because they may, quote unquote, try to fix it, don't know much about the phone, that they may break it, and that may void your warranty. So you need to ship it back to Unihertz. Hopefully they have a place here in the US to service the phone. So hopefully that can happen. If it doesn't, then you're going to be waiting a while if your phone never needs to get repaired. So customer service is terrible. So definitely keep that in mind whenever you're purchasing something that's not from the US. That customer service is not going to be that good. So let me just wrap everything up and just tell you my final thoughts of my pros and cons and what I feel about the phone. Like I said, just keep it short. Even though this looks cool, is good in your hands, feels good in your hands, good build quality, things like that. Octa-core processor, really good innards, runs great. Battery subpar though, basically like any other phone, but still having such a small screen to do stuff on here, especially playing games, and the fingerprint reader not being very accurate, even when you put in your fingerprint more than once. It just doesn't cut it for me. And one of the biggest deal breakers, not being able to use all the apps that I actually use, my banking app especially, that right there is a deal breaker for me. So this right here is about to be sold on eBay. So I'm glad I was able to get it, glad I was able to try it out. But alas, it's not going to do everything that my Galaxy S9 does, especially when it comes to looking at the phone in this real estate. I mean, I'm not a fan of big phones, but this is not that big. I mean, it's bigger than any phone that I've had in the past. The 7 was the biggest I've had before this one. This one is slightly longer than the 7. So this is the biggest phone I've ever owned, and I just paid this off a couple of days ago, so it is definitely mine. I'm getting it unlocked. I'm unlock the bootloader, and I may root it. But for the most part, this is now my go-to again. And I'm not disappointed with the S9. Like I said, I really wanted to use this as my go-to, but you know, now that Samsung One UI is out, I'm testing out the beta and seeing how things are. This phone has a new breath of fresh air into it, and so I'm not terribly upset that I'm gonna be using my S9 again. But I'm having fun trying out the beta and seeing what cool things I can do with it. So I just put on Nova Launcher 6.0 beta, so I'm gonna try that out too, and may give you a review on the Samsung One UI being used with Nova Launcher. So I'm happy with my purchase. So if you want to get the Unihertz Atom and use it for yourself and see how it's used, and once I make the listing on eBay for this, then you can bid on it, and hopefully you'll be the winning bidder to try this out for yourself and make videos for yourself. And I guarantee you'll get views because people are interested in seeing the second generation of Unihertz's small phone. So get it for yourself, try it out for yourself. If you like it, great. But I'm pretty happy with my S9, and we'll be using this for a very, very long time. Look for a future review video on my S9 to a iPhone XS. My wife had an S9. She wanted to get the same phone that I had so that we could still communicate, you know, video chat and things like that. But she cannot stand Samsung, so a few weeks ago, we went along and got her an iPhone XS from T-Mobile. So she's very, very, very happy now, and I'm very happy because I'll get to play with her phone, see how that works, see the cool features, and put it toe-to-toe to my Galaxy S9 and, you know, test some things out. So there you have it. There's my video. Alas, I'm not keeping this, so buy it if you want to. And if you like my video, like the pros and cons, and you know the outcome of what I thought about it, then definitely leave a thumbs up for the video. Leave comments about the video review if you'd like to. Has any questions that I haven't answered, if I can, and I'll try to answer all the questions that I can while I still have the phone. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And for all the new subscribers I have right now, thank you for subscribing. I will definitely keep my videos as raw, uncut as possible, but sometimes they have to be cut because sometimes I may stutter on a word, or in this particular case, for this last part of the video clip, my battery and my camera ran out, so things happen. I try to keep them as uncut as possible, but it is what it is. If I gotta edit, I edit. But this, at least the entire, or I would say 95% of the review was uncut. So, like I said, if you like it, put the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and tell your friends about my channel if they don't know about it already. Have them subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video.